A deadly attack has been carried out by the Oromo Liberation Army in Avoreda, in North Shore zone of the Oromo region. Meanwhile, in Amhara region, Pano groups entered two districts to avenge civilian killings. This is what they are saying. Secondly, another armed group has resumed its activities against the Ethiopian security forces. The armed group is based in Sudan. Its leader fled a prison. He escaped from a prison, and after that, he organized his fighters on Sudanese soil. Let's start from Oromia, viewers, where Oromo Liberation Army has been carrying out hit and run attacks, grenade attacks on government forces, and one such attack was carried out around 48 hours ago in North Shore zone of the Oromia region. Degam is the name of the Warada. What was the target there? How many people were injured and killed? More than 10 casualties are being confirmed in this attack. Ola reportedly threw hand grenades at a venue in North Shore, Dagam, Varat. What we've learned is that a meeting was underway in Dagam, North Shore Zone, Oromia region, meeting between local militia members and the Wareda officials. The meeting ended, and the two sides were there. Militia members and government officials were there when allegedly Oromo Liberation Army members they threw hand grenades at the participants. Over 10 casualties being confirmed, including militia members and warred officials. Injured were shifted to Hambiso and Fiche hospitals reportedly. This is the uh, attack which has caused the most serious loss to the militias through hand grenade attack by Ola in the last 2 years. I have not seen any single attack, grenade attack by Ola, causing 10 casualties. Over 10 are confirmed dead in this attack reportedly. Secondly, we know that in Gondar, Fano fighters entered central Gondar, where they avenged civilian killings. They said that civilians had been killed in a Wareda there. They then entered the Wareda and they killed the security officials and Wareda officials. Dozens were killed in that revenge attack. Today, Zenabao Gujjam Fano commander claimed that similar revenge attacks were carried out by Gujjam Fano against security forces in Diga Demoth and Farisbeth. Both are in Gujjam. Zenabao says that civilians were killed by security forces in the two areas. So in order to support civilians, Fano fighters entered Diga Demoth and Farisbeth, and security forces fled the area. Fano groups have released videos from Farisbeth. They were there in the city. Military suffered some losses. Military retreated. Military will likely launch a counteroffensive. But deaths are being confirmed of security officials in Farisbeth and Diga Demoth. Lastly, viewers, the many stories about another arm which has reverted to arms struggle. When peace deals are not implemented, armed groups can revert to arms struggle anytime. ONLF, Ethiopian government peace deal, ONLF claims is not being implemented. ONLF is not reverting to arms struggle, but it could. OLF, Ethiopian government peace deal, was not implemented, and Ola parted ways with OLF and it started armed struggle. PPLF, Peace deal, Pretoria deal not being implemented. There are fears that there could be resumption of fighting between Tigray forces and federal government. Uh, in a region in Ethiopia, a peace deal which was signed 3 years ago has collapsed. And one group, which was part of the peace deal, has started an armed struggle. I'm talking about BG, Benishangal Gumuz region of Ethiopia. It's very strategic. Why? Because Ethiopian dam GERD is located in BG, and GERD is being opposed by regional countries. Egypt vowing to stop inauguration of GERD, wants legally binding agreement. Trump joining Egypt, read a video on that a few hours ago. So, pressure on Ethiopian government. Egypt trying to activate its proxies in Ethiopia. Egypt has been in contact with Ethiopian anti-Ethiopian government opposition groups. So there are fears that Egypt will definitely exploit the situation in Ethiopia and arm these proxies. Benishangal Gumuz People Liberation Movement signed a peace deal with the Benishangal government in 2022, I think, or 2021. 3 years ago it happened. Gumuz People's Democratic Movement was the other group. These two groups signed a peace deal with the government, and I think the deal was signed in Khartoum, Sudan. Because these groups have been based in Sudan, these groups, as BG shares border with Sudan. Abdul Wahab, who is a leader of Benishangal Gomez People Liberation Movement, was in a prison in Asosa. He fled, and reportedly, the man is reorganizing Benishangal Gomez People Liberation Movement, and he's reorganizing this movement in Sudan. And at least one clash has been confirmed between Benishangal Gomez People Liberation Movement and security forces. Now, reportedly, four armed groups are operating in BG. A few days ago, Oromo Liberation Army fighters were accused of entering Benishangal Gomez region, Matakal zone. They denied, they said they had not entered Matakal, but BG officials claim that all our fighters they entered BG. These Benishangal Gumuz region-based armed groups have been in contact with Ola. In fact, they have been operating jointly. Groups in Gambela, groups in BG, groups in Oromia, they have been working in collaboration. So while tensions are rising in northern Ethiopia, where we're seeing tensions over Volkite, mobilization of Eritrean military being seen on Hajar front, other fronts. In BG situation not under control, it's very fragile. If something happens in northern Ethiopia and from there armed groups make a push towards Amhara, from there they'll make a push towards BG, and groups in BG could try to march towards GERD, the dam. So I think coming months are very crucial for peace and stability in Ethiopia. I said in a video a few hours ago that Kim Abiy is under immense pressure. Yes, under immense pressure. Armed groups asserting themselves, opposition groups, opposition politicians based abroad, asserting themselves, trying to get international support. Some regional neighbors threatening Ethiopia, Ethiopia threatening them. Overall, not good for peace and stability in the Horn of Africa. Thanks for watching.